Welcome to another Monday. January being January, there were no new wide releases that grabbed my attention at the theaters this weekend. But as the Best Picture possibilities keep expanding into more and more theaters, we have more opportunities to take them in. Originally released on Thanksgiving, today's review has finally made it into our area within the last few weeks. Led by the favorite for Best Actor, Darkest Hour tells the tale of the early days of World War II. So does it live up to the hype? Here's my take on the historical drama. Our film begins in the early days of World War II in Britain. The current Prime Minister has been forced to resign as a result of how he's handled everything so far. The party has to submit a new Prime Minister, and although he isn't who they want, Winston Churchill, played by Gary Oldman, is their only choice. After being given the title by a very hesitant king, Churchill settles in to get stuff done. Germany is marching all over Europe and taking over by storm. Even though Churchill is known mainly for his alcohol intake, he predicted this happening, and now he needs to figure out how to squash it. We see that the entire British army is being closed in on at Dunkirk and facing elimination. Churchill's cabinet members insist he broker a peace deal with Germany in order to spare all of their troops. Churchill knows that Hitler is not a man to be bargained with and is completely frustrated with the lack of anyone else to comprehend this.
You cannot reason with a tiger when your head is in its mouth!
He reaches out for help from allies, but based on the past treaties, no one is able to lend aid. The situation is getting dire, and although he tries to keep up the optimism of the general population, everyone can feel the danger coming. As the movie progresses, Churchill enacts a plan behind the back of his cabinet to save the army trapped in Dunkirk. He also has to make military decisions that are both necessary and extremely hard. His opposition is rising up against him, and it feels as if Churchill is being forced to fight two wars. But if there's one thing he's good at, it's words. And with surprising new support from the king, Churchill feels that he can rally the people of England to support the war effort, all while bringing the soldiers home safely. So, what to say about this one? Well, we can start with wow. And by that, of course, I'm talking about Gary Oldman. We've seen him transform into unrecognizable characters before, but now he's transformed into a recognizable one. But we only see Winston Churchill, not Gary Oldman. He completely embodies the former Prime Minister, and you just become enveloped in his performance. What's great about this film is that you know from history how everything is going to turn out, but this is kind of like a behind-the-scenes look at it. I mean, I knew who Winston Churchill was, I've seen pictures, I've heard his speeches, but to see what he actually had to go through to get to these points is amazing. I didn't realize how much opposition he actually had and how little favor he actually carried. It just reiterates how scary it was to live in that time and place. It also shows how tough it must have been when everyone is pressuring you to make a certain decision a certain way, and you know you have to do the exact opposite. Oh, and that one decision could result in millions of lost lives. It's not a position I envy or would ever want to be in. The movie is absolutely fantastic, and it is impossible to oversell Gary Oldman's performance. What's really fun is if you go see this, then pick up the Dunkirk Blu-ray on the way home and watch it. It's like seeing both in front of and behind the curtain. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.
All right, we'll keep it here. A warmer start to the work week than we have seen, but it may be short-lived. Tyler Ryan has one last look at your 7-day on the other